Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Avery Cooper. Your stream co-sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. I'm here in studio with Central Illinois Food Bank Public Relations Manager Tim Karsinicus and new Partner Resource Coordinator Darian Johnson Potts. Welcome to the program, Darian.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Tim.
Thank you, Avery. Pleasure to be back with you.
Also on the phone, we have Taylorville Food Pantry Co-Coordinator Amy Hagan. Great to have you here, Amy.
Thanks, Avery. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, too. So let's start off with Darian. What's your experience like leading up to becoming the Partner Resource Coordinator for the Central Illinois Food Bank?
So prior to working with the food bank, my background is in higher education. When I was in college, I spent some time volunteering during spring break, doing some work with food banks and food pantries. And so I've been doing that for a few years now, and I really enjoyed being able to provide food to those in need. And I left higher education because I was looking for an opportunity to combine my career with my passions. And so I saw the position with the food bank, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity for me to not only do something that I enjoy and love, but try to make a career out of it. And it's been a good experience so far these first few weeks. I've had a lot of fun, and I'm learning something new every day.
Where did you go to school?
So I'm actually from Missouri. So I went to school at Missouri University of Science and Technology. I have a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering.
Wow. And now you're here as the Partner Resource Coordinator for the Central Illinois Food Bank. So I heard you say, you want to pair something with your career that's along with something with you love. What do you love about working with food banks and stuff like of this sort?
So I believe that food is essential to everyone, no matter what your age, no matter what your situation is. And so I just love being able to provide something to our neighbors that can help them in their situations. It's one less thing for them to think about, especially right now during these difficult times. So being able to just provide something that is so essential to livelihood is so important to me.
I know she's only been here for a few weeks, but Tim, how can you describe Darian's impact on the food?
Well, she's been great. She brings really that passion and energy that is so essential to our mission and providing for our neighbors 365 days a year at the food bank. So in her position, Darian's going to be working very closely with our dedicated team of volunteers at the food bank who are in there every day, working to package boxes that we bring to our distributions, to get orders ready for our partner agencies, and to deliver product all throughout our 21 county service areas. So her position is so essential to everything we do at the food bank, and we're very happy to have her with us.
And of course, she's working with organizations like the Taylorville Food Pantry. Amy, can you catch me up on the goings-on of the Taylorville Food Pantry?
Oh my gosh. Well, just most recently, we capped off a food drive with the Boy Scouts of America Abraham Lincoln Council. There are both Cub Scout packs as well as troops, Boy Scout troops that combined efforts on a fateful Saturday in March 19th. And they did a really great job collectively. Between all their efforts, they raised about 3,147 pounds to be exact. And they comprise our third largest food drive that we have in the run of a year. So we're very appreciative of their efforts and the fact that they came out and decided to help us in that way.
That's the local Boy Scout troop?
Yes. It's troop and pack number 132, and then troop 1849 and troop and pack 68. And so collectively they all work together. They have their meetings at both First Presbyterian Church as well as the First United Methodist Church here in Taylorville. And in addition, our friends from Crossroads Apostolic also took part in that particular food drive. And between all their collective efforts, like I said, they raised over 3,100 pounds. So it was a great Saturday to have them in our midst and helping us in donating to our cause.
Is all of that 3,100 pounds going back to the Taylorville Food Pantry?
It is. Yes. We had some extra volunteers that Saturday at the food pantry from basically the time we closed of normal distribution at like 9:30. They stayed till around 12:30, just sorting all the things that came in from the drive, because the Boy Scouts had dropped off bags at individual residences in many of the neighborhoods around town. And then on March 19th, they went out and collected all those bags. And many of them, of course, had food in them, brought them back to the food pantry already weighed. And we had volunteers there at the pantry to receipt those items and then, sort them by food type, the boxes from the cans, from the jars, and bring order to the pantry with all the new incoming items. And it was a great event.
I know this is something you'd been working on for a little while, Amy. Would you call this a success?
Oh, most certainly. And, the other thing I want to give is we pride ourselves a lot with collaboration in this community. And we reached out to Dinner Season with Love, which many of the listenership knows as another nonprofit organization in town. And they happened to have a dinner that day, a luncheon that day. And I reached out to the coordinator of Dinner Season with Love. I said, we're going to have a number of volunteers at the food pantry captive. We're going to be working over the lunch hour. Could we possibly, get a meal from Dinner Season with Love? And they were so good. They packaged up a lovely lunch for us in chafing dishes, and we went and picked it up. And so after we were done with our work that morning, we were all able to have a nice lunch together before we each went our separate ways. So props to Dinner Season with Love for feeding us so well that day as well.
Just for those who may not know, I understand Dinner Season with Love is a local nonprofit providing a meal once a month for anyone, regardless of the religious affiliation or income guidelines. And I believe it's the third Saturday of the month. Amy, do you know?
I think that's correct.
Yeah.
It was the 19th of March. I'm pretty sure that's how that math works out, indeed.
About, yeah, roughly. As Partner Resource Coordinator, Darian, what can you say about 3,100 pounds? I know Taylorville Food Pantry is one of your partners. What can you say about the success of that drive that the Boy Scouts just put on?
I think that's awesome. And to hear Amy talk about how the boys went out into the neighborhood and gave bags to the neighbors to fill, I think that's great. And I think it's awesome that so many people want to help them with their project, and that they as troops saw the need to want to do a project like this to help those in their community.
Tim, have you heard of Boy Scouts doing a food drive on this scale before in other Central Illinois food bank areas?
I honestly have not, but I'm still relatively new, but I'm hearing new ideas and new ways to do food drives all the time. Tomorrow, actually, I'm planning on visiting a food drive that's going on at U of I Springfield's campus. The Military and Veterans Club is putting on a cool event where they'll actually fill rucksacks and of canned goods, and they will be donating all that product to the Central Illinois Food Bank. So always, whenever people can put out their own spin and put their own ownership on a food drive, it's always awesome to see and great to hear that the Boy Scouts did such a great job here in Taylorville. So,
is that food drive you just mentioned at UIS still going on?
It is.
Yeah, people can still donate.
Yep, absolutely. So it'll be going on, starts tomorrow at 5 p.m. and it'll be on the cross-country course at the U of I Springfield campus. So if you're looking for a way to get out and help your neighbors and kind of experience what our military and our veterans do, it's a great way to get out and do that as well. So
let me reintroduce you three, and then we'll continue our conversation after a quick break. You just heard from Central Illinois Food Bank Public Relations Manager Tim Kursiniakis, also here with him, Partner Resource Coordinator Darian Johnson-Potts, and Taylorville Food Pantry Co-Coordinator Amy Hagan here on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream co-sponsored by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
You see the signs at the state line. You are leaving Illinois. No kidding. Your family, friends, businesses are fleeing. Gary Rabine is running for governor to stop this problem. Rabine is a self-made businessman with 13 companies in Illinois.
Hi, I'm Gary Rabine. I see the problems every day. Highest taxes, most regulations of any state, along with crime, education, and jobs. We have challenges. I've got solutions. Join us. It's Rabine time.
Paid for by Rabine for governor.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The 2022 Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce Annual Banquet is Friday, May 6th at the Pillars Event Center. It will be one you'll never forget. Hi, I'm Linda Allen, Executive Director, along with
Randall J. Miller, President of WTIM and the Miller Media Group. We're the exclusive sponsor of this year's banquet, footing the bill for everything to celebrate WTIM's 70th anniversary so that we can raise money for the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, the Taylorville Public Schools Foundation, and the Taylorville Food Pantry.
50% of all ticket sales will go to the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, helping us continue to be the doorway to the community. 25% of all ticket sales are going to be our friends at the Taylorville Public Schools Foundation, and 25% will go to the wonderful work being done at the Taylorville Food Pantry. Tickets are on sale at the Chamber office now. Single tickets are $50, or you can buy a table of 8 for only $360. Get your tickets now for the 2022 Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce Annual Banquet, recognizing WTIM's 70th anniversary, a fundraiser for the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce, the Taylorville Public Schools Foundation, and our local Taylorville Food Pantry.
Thank you for listening to this Miller Media Group radio station. We appreciate you making the choice to tune in to us. We want to remind you of some things to keep the attorneys happy. Our stations allow one winner per household in a 30-day period. Cash prizes are mailed to our winners within 30 days of winning. And as you've probably already guessed, portions of today's programming on this Miller Media Group radio station were pre-recorded and are mechanically or digitally reproduced. There. Now we've made the attorneys happy. Thanks again for listening to this Miller Media Group station. C&B Bank and Trust is helping to open doors for your wealth. Schedule your appointment with Victor Henson by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Not FDIC insured, no bank guarantee, may lose value.
Hi, I'm Bob Reddings of the Bob Reddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Avery Cooper. Your stream co-sponsored by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. And People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm here in the studio with Central Illinois Food Bank Public Relations Manager Tim Kersinikis, Partner Resource Coordinator Darian Johnson-Potts, and Taylorville Food Pantry Co-Coordinator Amy Hagan on the phone. Oh, good to have everyone here in studio. So, Tim, at the Central Illinois Food Bank, a lot of times you focus on things on a broader scale.
Mm-hmm.
What is the food bank looking at right now?
Well, and going out to our communities and having the opportunity to speak with people who have visited a lot of our drive-through food distributions that we've done, it's so clear that the number one thing on people's minds is inflation and the rising costs of not only gas, but also food and housing and the cost of all the essentials. You know, a lot of times food can fall to the back burner, and it's a real concern for a lot of our neighbors. Just over the past few weeks, I had the opportunity to go to distribution in Whitehall and Greene County, and then Athens and Menard County. And I had multiple people tell me that, it was their first time visiting a distribution because of just the impacts of things that our communities are facing. So it's a lot of uncertainty, but it's kind of the same thing that we've been used to dealing with for the past 2 years. Originally at the outset of the pandemic, we saw a huge wave of people also saying that it was their first time accessing a lot of the services that either the food bank provides or their local food pantries provides. So while there might be uncertainty with inflation right now, we have the tools to be able to fight hunger and fight that uncertainty in our communities. And we're always encouraging people to volunteer or to donate food product or their funds or their time to help fight hunger, which is with us 365 days a year. So
it's interesting how food, something that everyone needs to survive, everyone needs to eat, can sometimes fall to the back burner of people's priorities. It just kind of doesn't add up, but I understand how that can be in times of turmoil.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, and this is something that, we focus on a lot with our campaigns with Feeding America. And, last year's Hunger Action Month theme was that food shouldn't be that impossible choice. That should not be the one thing that, you're having to cut out of your daily life to face other expenses that you may need to. So, within our 21 county service area, nearly 100,000 people don't know where their next meal may be coming from. But the impact that individuals can make is so huge. So for donations of food product, that goes a long way to help cut costs down for the food bank, as well as our partner agencies. Every dollar donated helps us procure or can help us procure 6 meals, which is so huge. And last year we helped distribute over 12 million pounds of product across the 21 counties, and we're hoping to hit those marks again by the time our fiscal year ends here in May as well. So,
Amy, have you seen something similar with Taylorville Food Pantry residents? Well, not residents, but people who come to the Taylorville Food Pantry. Are they citing inflation? Are they saying, hey, this is the first time of me coming here? What have you seen on a local level?
Well, I would actually agree with all of Tim's comments. I can't tell you of a time that we've been open, and we're open 3 times a week. And I can't tell you of a time in recent past where we haven't had at least 1 or 2 new families say that they either haven't received services from us in a great long while, in some cases several months, in some cases, a couple of years or more, or the fact that they've never received services from a food pantry ever. And it's usually, a friend or a family member who recognizes the predicament they're in, and they know about us and they refer us. And sometimes it's a warm handoff where that person, maybe they've been a patron themselves, they'll come in and they'll say, hey, this is my brother in need. This is my sister in need. I knew you were here. I knew you could help them. And so, yeah, we've definitely seen the return of some folks that we haven't helped in a while, and some people that we've never helped before.
Amy, we're running out of time here. I wanted to give you a chance to cover something that maybe I didn't get to.
Well, as always, you're very thorough, and we appreciate the partnership that we have with Miller Media Stations. Just gratitude always to our partners, to our relationship with the food bank, and our many volunteers and donors.
That is Taylorville Food Pantry Co-Coordinator Amy Hagan. Thank you so much for coming on, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Also, we have Central Illinois Food Bank Public Relations Manager Tim Korsinikis and new partner resource coordinator with the Central Illinois Food Bank, Darian Johnson Potts. Thank you both for coming on.
Pleasure to be back. Thank you.
Thank you, Avery.
Your stream co-sponsored by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption